Welcome to The Arena, our weekly sports show where I bring you highlights of Namibian and international sport over the weekend. My name is Helga Schutz. Well, let's start off with soccer, and the Brave Warriors gave a fine performance when they held Cameroon to a 1-1 draw in Yaoundé on Friday night. Peter Shalulile gave Namibia a first-half lead, but Nicolas Nkulu equalized for Cameroon after the break. Let's hear what Namibia coach Colin Benjamin and Shalulile had to say after the match.
Like I said yesterday, we have a young team, a very hungry team, a team that wants to succeed. And to succeed, you have to play against the big boys. So we are looking forward to getting Cameroon in Johannesburg. We're going to be prepared from now on. They always say after the game is before the game. So we're going to go in and prepare for the indomitable Lions like we did today. Our mission is very clear for us. We want to go to the AFCON. Maybe for Cameroon it's normal. It's every day, it's okay. But for us it's not normal, and it takes hard work, it takes sacrifice, it takes blood, it takes tears, and it's not gonna be easy. And we're gonna do this. Our mission was to steal points from Cameroon. And then after this, we have Cameroon now in 3-4 days. And after that, we have Burundi. But our main target, we want to go with you, the big boys, to AFCON. We don't know how it is. We have players that got injuries, so we have to assess the situation, what we have. And with what we have, we then develop a strategy for the Lions of Cameroon then.
On va prendre deux dernières questions. Thank you. Peter, I'm Sidi Lombardi, African Form. I want to know, how do you know that you can take the ball between Epassi and Castelletto?
Sure. Well, when I always say it's normal, as a striker, to anticipate balls between a centre back and a keeper. You should always be alert as a striker, and that's what we always do at training. Anticipate, make sure that you never know what happens. Because there was instances where balls couldn't land on me, but your defenders were too smart also. But sometimes it's just anticipation. Always being alert in the box, because strikers at the highest caliber, in Europe, they anticipate and they make sure also. Likes of your strikers, they know what I'm talking about, But it's just a thing of anticipating and make sure that you are always there at the right time.
Can I add? He works like a crazy guy. He works. So it's work. Namibia always have to work, guys. We always have to work. It's never easy.
Well, that point sees Namibia replacing Burundi in second place on the log behind Cameroon, and with the top two teams qualifying for the AFCON finals in the Ivory Coast, Namibia certainly have boosted their chances. Well, there were numerous other matches all over the continent, with Guinea-Bissau's 1-0 victory over Nigeria probably the shock of the round. Let's take a look at those results. Well, we have some very interesting results. We take a look there. Tanzania beating Uganda 1-0 away from home. DR Congo beating Mauritania 3-1. Guinea-Bissau a huge upset beating Nigeria 1-0 in Nigeria. Eswatini doing well away from home, drawing 0-0 against Cape Verde. Ivory Coast beating Comoros 3-1. South Africa drawing 2-2 against Liberia, leading 2-0, but Liberia coming back to draw, and Egypt beating Malawi 2-0. In other results, Mali beats the Gambia 2-0, Equatorial Guinea beats Botswana 2-0, Senegal thrashed Mozambique 5-1, Burkina Faso beat Togo 1-0, Namibia, of course, a great draw there against Cameroon 1-1, Guinea beating Ethiopia 2-0 and Tunisia beating Libya 3-0. Moving on to cycling, and Namibia's Vera Luza and her teammate Kim Lacourt of Mauritius gave a superb performance to win the women's category at the Absa Cape Epic, which finished in pole on Sunday. Loser made history by becoming the first Namibian to win the women's race and only second Namibian overall after Manny Heymans, who won the men's race with his German teammate Karl Platt in 2004. Loser and Lecourt completed the grueling race covering 648 kilometers over 8 days in a total time of 33 hours, 11 minutes and 37 seconds, with Amy Wakefield and Candice Lill of South Africa coming second, 32 minutes behind. "This is such an amazing feeling," Loser said after the race. "It's been a long, hard week and we had to dig really deep, but we made it. I think we need a week or two to let it sink in," she added. Matthew Beers of South Africa and Christopher Blevins of the United States won the men's race in 26 hours, 17 minutes and 4 seconds, with George Egger and Lukas Baum of Germany coming second, 3 minutes 49 seconds behind. Namibia's Alex Miller and his South African partner Philip Buys, who finished 8th overall, won the award for the first African team. In cricket news, Namibia got off to a losing start in the Cricket World Cup qualifier play-off in Windhoek on Sunday when they lost by 80 runs to the United States. The USA scored 231 for 9 wickets of their 50 overs and Namibia were bundled out for 151. I spoke to Namibia coach Pierre de Bruin after the match. Let's hear what he had to say.
Yeah, look, it's not ideal. We were in the game for 90% of the day and we missed some big moments, especially at the back end with the ball. We had an opportunity when they were 6 down for 105 to restrict them to 170 at least. We didn't bowl well in the death. With the bat, I suppose, we lost those 2 first wickets and a rebuild is inevitable, and we did that, with Gerard and with Sean Forshire. They did very well to get us back into the game with buying a bit of time, building a foundation. And then, I don't know, I just thought, our game management was not good enough. The tempo at times was not good enough. I really enjoyed the way Nicole Lofty-Eaton played. I think that's the intent that the batters must look at to play. It's positive cricket, but it also doesn't have to be high risk. Sean Forshire showed a lot of grit up front to at least, bat time. And then, when you lose 6 wickets for 20 runs again, it's just not ideal, and it's not our brand of cricket. We will have to address it. And I know the guys will. I mean, they work hard and it will definitely hurt and they will bounce back.
Right, now the tournament, there's still a lot of matches coming up, but this defeat, is it a big loss for you guys, or can you maybe still qualify, would you say?
No, absolutely. I mean, we've got 4 games left. It's a lot of cricket. In this tournament, everyone's going to beat everyone. I can see it's going to be very, very strong. But destiny is still in our hands to get a ticket to Zimbabwe, and we've got 2 days to reassess and to prepare for the double header on Wednesday and Thursday. In
rugby, the Windhoek Draft Welwitches got off to a losing start in the Mzansi Challenge when they lost 26-21 to the Border Bulldogs in East London on Saturday. The Bulldogs led 18-14 at half-time. Namibia scored 3 tries through Danko Burger, Jacques Tron and Lloyd Jacobs, while Andre van der Berg added 3 conversions. In another match, the Southwest District Eagles beat Eastern Province 36-23. Moving on to netball, and the MTC Namibia Premier League got underway over the weekend with the first 2 rounds of matches in Otjiwarongo. The defending champions, Mighty Gunners, went to the top of the log after winning their opening 2 matches. They beat Fatu Netball Club 68-20 and Namibia Correctional Services 43-36. While MC Esterhuizen sent us this video, she spoke to Mighty Gunners coach Hilma David and the coach of NCS, Terry Tuaire. Let's take a look.
Good day everybody, I'm standing here with the coach of NCS. It was the final game of the first leg of our MTC Premier League, and it was the battle of the forces, as they call it, the defending champion against former champions. I'm standing with Coach Terry, the coach from NCS. Your views on the game, Coach, what were you thinking?
Views on the game? There's a couple of technical things we need to adjust and work on. Not to take anything away from our rivals. They had a very good game. Ultimately, I think it boils down to whose day it was and who executed it way best. It's disappointing, but then that's how the ball rolls. I think to take away from here, it is to go work on a lot of things that we have identified, me and my co-coach, and hopefully come back stronger and very fierce next time.
Absolutely, and like I said, so a lot to still play for, and good luck, because you have youngsters coming through.
Wow, yes.
And that is very exciting to see the young ones coming through.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so all the best, and thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
And now I'm standing with a winning coach, defending champions, Coach Depewa of the Mighty Gunners, and also the home team. Congratulations, what a great performance it was. So what do you think?
As we were just prepared as we prepared last year. As we came with clean sheet, we want to finish with our clean sheet. Nothing else. We are not afraid of anything.
Moving on to hockey, and the Namibia Indoor Hockey League got underway over the weekend. And in the only Premier League match, the defending women's champions DTS thrashed Wanderers 8-0. Well, Epaphras Tunomwameni of the Namibia Hockey Union was at the match and conducted some interviews, so let's take a look.
I think the first half of the game went as I expected. I anticipated a little bit of rustiness, so I think true to form, there were some handling errors, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of confidence, not quite there. But I think when we sort of got back to the basics, stuck to the principles, kept it simple, and just focused on doing the basics good, we found our flow. And then we started to stretch play, we moved the ball well. So I think in the third and the fourth check, I was very happy with what they did. They really moved the ball, created a lot of space for themselves, and there were some classy finishes, which for a first game of the season I can be quite proud of, and I think they can feel very happy with their performance as well. It's a nice team, combination of experience, youth, some new faces on the team, so they've also got to find each other and make the connections. MTC. Yes. But it was good. I'm very happy with how they played.
Hey, the game was awesome. I think it was good to start the league. We're super excited and especially energized after the World Cup and all that. So thank you Namibia Hockey Union for the games that have started. So it was good, rusty, but we're going to get better in the league.
Since it was our first game for the season, I think the ladies did okay. You know? We didn't anticipate a score like that, although we've been preparing. It's not easy when you're playing against a team that's full of national players, but performance-wise, I think we did well. We kept the composure, and although we gave unnecessary shot callers in the end because maybe of fatigue and fatigueness, but it's things that we have to work on. But overall, the commitment, the players were there. They gave it the all, even if they were tired.
So I think it was not the best game that we have had ever, but it's the first game of the season, so hopefully we can just work on from there and see where our weak spots are.
Moving on to women's football, and the title race in the FNB Women's Super League is extremely close after matches over the weekend, with Tura Magic, Girls and Goals and Unam Bookies all leading the log on 21 points each. Well, Unam Bookies had a great chance to take the solo lead when they took on Nast Babes, but they suffered a shock 3-0 defeat. After the match, I spoke to the coaches, that's Dankie France of Nast, and the assistant coach of Unam, that's Boris Uirap. So let's hear what they had to say.
I'm very happy with the result. It was under pressure. The team was under, which is not good for us. In our match against the Unam, always it's a debut match because all two are university teams.
Right, but it was a big upset. If you look at the log, you guys are quite low on the log. Did you think you could win this one, and what were your tactics?
We are still busy. because I want maybe to end like if I can end like 5 or 6 there or 8 is something which is better for us. Because at the moment the position we have now, it's not normally we don't used to stay at that position. But now, to me, I think with this team, I can go forward.
My thoughts on the game are simple. It was a huge upset because the way we started the game, we didn't expect to get the end result of losing 3-0. But we go back and we rebuild and then we come back again.
Right, as you say, a big upset. In fact, if you won, I think you would have gone top of the log. So how do you feel about your general log position and your status at the moment?
Usually what we say to our players is a game in hand is actually not points in the bag. So we had games in hand, expecting to win them and go top of the log. But as you see, we didn't use our chances and we were punished.
Right, and do you think it was the derby that maybe got you? You know, the derby is always a different game.
Yes, the derby was the one that got, especially the crowd was turned up, and I think our players got drawn into the crowd that was putting pressure on them to score every opportunity they got. And they were, most of the times they were in a hurry, rather than just tapping it in, they were just trying to kick it out and just do something else.
Yeah, but Boris, you're still amongst the leaders, so do you think you can come back and maybe win the league?
That's one thing I like about playing a league. There's always a second chance. This was the first leg, but second leg we get prepared, take our chances and we come in and make sure that we grab the honors of the derby and make sure we are the ones that smile at the end.
And finally, let's take a look at some international sporting news with photos courtesy of AFP. In international football, England beat Ukraine 2-0 in the Euro 2024 qualifying tournament after goals by Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka to go 3 points clear at the top of Group C. Portugal thumped Luxembourg 6-0 with Cristiano Ronaldo scoring 2 goals, while Denmark suffered a shock 3-2 defeat to Kazakhstan. And in cricket, South Africa beat the West Indies by 6 wickets at Centurion on Sunday after setting a new international record for a run chase. The West Indies scored 258 runs for 5 wickets, with Johnson Charles scoring 118, while South Africa replied with 259 for 4, with Quinton de Kock scoring 100. And that brings us to the end of today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a productive week, and from me, Helge, it's goodbye till next time.